Welcome to Auto Mundial, the weekly car news and review show. This time we're taking a look at Porsche's ultimate 911, the incredible GT3 RS.
We also have new SUVs from Honda and Skoda, plus Kia's bold new minivan takes on the Chrysler Pacifica.
Plus BMW's striking new concept car, the tech-filled iVision D. That's all coming up, but first, the news. Mazda is once again building rotary engines. Mazda, which pioneered the high-revving alternative to the piston engine, hasn't built a rotary-powered car since the RX-8 went out of production in 2012. Now though, the rotary is back. Although it isn't directly driving a car. Instead, the internal combustion technology is to be used as a range extender for the MX-30, Mazda's only current electric car. Badged as the REV, it uses a small 830cc rotary engine to keep the battery topped up. The car only has a range of 53 miles, but when it runs low or hard acceleration is required, the engine fires up, allowing the car to travel more than 370 miles on electric power, according to Mazda. We've seen range extender technology before on the BMW i3, among others, and it does seem to alleviate some of the range anxiety associated with EVs. Mazda has confirmed that the MX-30 REV will make production, with deliveries expected to start this summer.
With people carriers now few and far between in Europe, elsewhere in the world there's still a big market for affordable people movers. America, for example, still sells plenty of them, with numerous international manufacturers building MPVs especially for the North American market. One such car is this, the new Kia Carnival. Rivaling cars from Chrysler, Toyota and Honda, the 2023 Carnival changes things up with its SUV styling. At first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a 4x4 with its chunky proportions and boxy style. But with its sliding doors and low floor, the Carnival is a minivan through and through. Kia has combined fashionable SUV looks with MPV practicality, a recipe that is sure to be popular. Powering the Carnival is a 3.5-litre V6, putting out a very respectable 290 horsepower. Enough to see it from 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds. Not bad for a big 7-seater. As with all modern Kias, the interior really impresses. The dashboard looks clean and modern, with 2 screens sitting atop it. Base model cars come with a single 8-inch screen, while higher trim levels get a pair of 12.3-inch displays, with one serving as a digital instrument panel. CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, while a rear seat entertainment system is available on SX trim and up, with top-spec SX Prestige models also coming with a 12-speaker Bose audio setup. Elsewhere in the cabin, the materials all seem pretty high-end, although American market minivans do tend to be a bit posher than a Ford Galaxy or Volkswagen Charan. There are 9 USB ports to ensure all your passengers remain charged up, and higher trim levels get special VIP reclining rear seats. Annoyingly, these can't be removed, slightly diminishing the Carnival's otherwise excellent practicality.
However, if the Kia Carnival wants to take top honours in the minivan class, it will need to beat this, the Chrysler Pacifica. Starting at $38,000, $4,000 more than the Kia, the Pacifica is among the most luxurious ways to move your family around. The spacious cabin is full of wood and leather, especially in the high-spec Pinnacle model. There are loads of cubby holes and cup holders too, and it has one of the biggest boots in its class. It has a more diverse range of powertrains too. Where the Kia has a sole engine option and front-wheel drive, the Chrysler is available with either a 3.6 V6 producing 287 horsepower or a hybrid which adds 2 electric motors. There's also an all-wheel drive option, handy if you really want to take on the less spacious but ultimately slightly cooler SUVs. There's no denying though that the Chrysler misses out versus the Kia on design. The Kia looks totally modern and its SUV looks market apart from the rest of the class.
Is the Kia Carnival the new minivan to beat? The Honda Odyssey is feeling its age, while the Toyota's Sienna's lack of refinement really does let it down. The Chrysler is a much fiercer competitor, but comparable trim levels are priced much higher, a big factor for big families. The Carnival then goes straight in as the new class leader.
The Skoda KODIAQ has always been a likeable car. It's a practical, fuss-free, affordable family bus with just enough creature comforts to keep it competitive against its VW Group stablemates, the Tiguan Allspace and Seat Tarraco. And now Skoda has given its 7-seat SUV a mid-life facelift. It's nothing drastic, just a bit of a nip and tuck, but it does look smarter than the old one, with an updated grille, new headlights and a redesigned bonnet. At the back, the changes are similarly effective, with a new spoiler and fresh tail lights, really marking it apart from the old car. And it isn't just the aesthetics that have been upgraded. Under the bonnet, the KODIAQ now gets a new range of engines. There are 2 diesel options to choose from, both 2 litres in capacity with either 148 or 197 brake horsepower. They both come with Skoda's new twin dosing system, which reduces the number of harmful emissions coming from the exhaust. The petrol lineup consists of a 148 horsepower 1.5, a 187 horsepower 2-litre, and the sporty top-of-the-range VRS model gets a 242 brake horsepower turbocharged 2-litre. In VRS form, the KODIAQ will do 62 miles per hour from a standstill in 6.5 seconds, topping out at 144. Most buyers, though, will be looking at one of the lower trim levels. The range kicks off with the £33,000 SE Drive model with either 5 or 7 seats. Better equipped SE, L, Sportline and L and K models all come with a 3rd row of seats as standard. Step up to the VRS though, and you'll be forking out more than 46 grand. Step inside, and you're greeted by a pleasantly finished, well-built interior. SE cars are a little basic, but step up to the Sportline and you'll find most of the kit you're likely to want. If you want some real luxury though, the L&K model is the one to go for. It comes with ventilated electric leather seats, a 360-degree camera and a digital instrument display. It seems to us that Skoda's got it just right. It's slightly cheaper than rivals from Hyundai and Seat, and with a more diverse selection of trim levels thanks to the luxurious L&K and the sporty VRS. If it's a VW Group 7-seater you're after, a KODIAQ is your best bet. After the break, a BMW concept and the GT3 RS. Coming up in part 2, Porsche's ultimate 911. But first,
if BMW's recent models have left you questioning its design department, don't worry. It seems they've not totally lost the plot as the brand reveals its latest concept car. It's called the iVision D, DEE standing for Digital Emotional Experience. BMW says it's designed to create an even stronger bond between people and their cars, with its host of tech and attractive styling that takes influence from BMW's back catalogue of small saloons. It's a small, pretty saloon car with plenty of interesting design details and concept car weirdness. The compact body has short overhangs and a low stance, a refreshing change from many of the high-riding cars that we've seen recently. The buck-tooth grilles of the 4 Series have made way for more traditional, wider kidney grilles, and the C-pillar features the famous Hofmeister kink. Both of these classic BMW details, and more besides, have been reimagined with something called e-ink, a series of colourful pixels that, according to BMW, can create an almost infinite variety of patterns to be displayed on your car. All very clever stuff, and there's even more inside, which looks a little more production ready. The headline feature is something called a mixed reality slider, a feature that allows users to control how much digital content is mixed with reality. Now, in layman's terms, a projector shines various bits of information onto the windscreen to effectively create a full-width heads-up display. It shows everything from your trip computer to your social media feed, and is due to be fitted to production cars in 2025. Turn the mixed reality slider up to its maximum setting, and the world around you begins to change in a psychedelic blend of colour and real life. Once the ultimate driving machine, according to board member Frank Webber, these days a BMW lives by its unparalleled digital performance. All right, if you say so, Frank. The mixed reality slider means the iVision D does without a traditional infotainment screen, leaving a clean, uncluttered interior using BMW's so-called Shy Tech, hidden controls that we've already seen in the new 7 Series. The iVision D is a showcase of tech we can expect to see on BMW's next generation of cars. The designer reckons it has the potential to make you a better driver and simply brings humans and machines together. We're not sure about that, but if the new models look anything like this concept, we're sure they won't disappoint.
Honda was late to the small crossover party when finally in 2016 it resurrected the old HR-V name. Based on the same platform as the Jazz Super Mini, it was a decent if forgettable car that often missed out against its countless rivals thanks to its bland styling and relatively high price tag. Now though, there's a new one, and from first glance it's clear to see that any dull design of the old car has been ditched. Instead, the new HR-V looks slick and contemporary, with a flush new grille and smooth lines throughout. In this fiercely competitive corner of the market, it's good to stand out. But while the exterior looks bang on, the cabin is slightly less stylish. It has everything you'd expect though, and passenger comfort has been improved over the old car with more legroom, making this one of the most spacious cars in the class. The boot isn't the biggest at 319 litres, but the clever folding magic seats make up for it, allowing you to carry taller things. The most intriguing part of the new HR-V though is the hybrid powertrain. Under the bonnet sits 1.5 litre petrol motor, nothing unusual about that, but it's mostly used as a generator for the battery and electric motor. The HR-V drives for the most part like an electric car, with a petrol ICE engine assisting under acceleration for a combined 129 brake horsepower. It's a clever system that means the Honda is economical, although the extra batteries and tech mean it is still rather pricey, starting at more than £29,000.
And at that money, there are plenty of other options to choose from, not least this, the Nissan Juke. For HRV money, you'll be looking at the very top spec Jukes, with entry-level cars still coming in at around 20 grand. In profile, the new Juke looks pretty good, with bold, exaggerated wheel arches and tapering roofline, giving it a sporty look. It's wider and longer than the old car, with 105mm being added to the wheelbase. Despite that though, the new model is 35 kilos lighter, thanks to its Renault Capture platform and high-tension steel construction. The Juke is powered by a 1-litre turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol from the Micra, with either a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. Power stands at 115 bhp, which is enough to see the Juke from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 10.4 seconds for the manual and just over 11 seconds for the auto, with both cars maxing out at just 112 miles per hour. It's likely, though, that a hybrid will join the lineup at some point, and maybe even an electric version. While it may do without a clever hybrid system like the Hondas, the Juke is still a versatile family crossover, and if you can do without the big alloys and metallic paint, significantly cheaper than the HRV.
The Honda is an excellent crossover SUV, but like the old model, it seems destined to live in the shadows of Renaults, Volkswagens and Nissans.
The Porsche 911 range is famously complicated. There are two-wheel drive cars, all-wheel drive ones, Ts, Rs, GTSs, 4s, turbos, Carreras, Targas, Sport Classics, and even a Dakar. For anyone who hasn't studied the lineup in great detail, walking into a Porsche dealership to buy a 911 can be a minefield. One thing is for sure though, those wanting the ultimate driving experience from their Porsche want a GT model. In particular, this, the fabulous new GT3 RS. The flagship of the current 911 range, this new RS builds on the already mighty GT3 with an even more track-focused spec list and some jaw-dropping engineering. The standard GT3 is a lighter, stiffer, more powerful 911 with rear-wheel drive and 503 brake horsepower. The RS takes things even further. Everything from the engine and chassis to the aero and tyres have been tweaked, making this the most capable 911 yet. Power is up only slightly to 518 horsepower, dropping the 0 to 62 time from 3.4 to 3.2 seconds. Top speed is actually significantly lower than a regular GT3 at 184 miles per hour due to the enormous adjustable rear wing. And what a wing it is! It's actually the highest point of the car and features a Formula 1 style drag reduction system which opens it up to increase straight line speed. And it's the wing and the rest of the aero package that's key to the RS's blisteringly quick on-track performance. In total, it produces a staggering 860 kilograms of downforce at 177 miles per hour, meaning the speed it can carry through corners is extraordinary. And it's not simply a bigger wing and a deeper splitter. Seriously involved engineering had to be done to accommodate the modifications. For example, it gets a different single radiator where you'd normally find some luggage space to allow space for the new underbody flaps, which channel the air underneath the car. The 4-litre naturally aspirated flat-six engine has been upgraded with new cams and different tuning, but its extra poke is also helped by shorter gear ratios. Liberal use of carbon fibre reinforced plastic has reduced the curb weight down to 1,450 kilos. New side blades channel the air along the side of the car, while fins on the roof direct air into the rear intakes. The dedication to downforce and aerodynamics even stretches to the suspension, with new teardrop-shaped wishbones producing up to 40 kilograms of downforce on their own. The car sits lower on wider centre-lock wheels. Carbon ceramic brakes are optional, with standard cars getting a bespoke braking setup different to the standard GT3s. We could go on and on about the minutiae of the engineering that's gone into this car, but for the lucky few who get their hands on one, the £178,000 GT3 RS is sure to be the ultimate track toy. Join us again next week on Auto Mundial as we take a look at a very different sort of Porsche with the all-new 911 Dakar. Don't miss it.